fishing, it's in my soul.
Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
Hello, Salt Strong Nation. Joe Simons, like diamonds. Got my boy and bro, Luke Simons. What's up, dude?
Ready to talk about a new lure that has been absolutely crushing it.
We've been testing this out for a while. It's really its own category. Might be called Topdiver, but it's essentially a blend between topwater lure and a diver. And obviously, everyone knows topwaters work very well, but it's also sometimes nice to have one that'll dive a little bit deeper, maybe a foot or two. And obviously lures like that have been working, like mirror lure and stuff like that, for years and years and years. And this is kind of a blend with a little bit of a lip. And tell us the name, Luke. It's already been officially named from one of our amazing members.
So we presented it to the members, and we had a ton of feedback came in, and the name that was chosen was Skinny Lipper. So as Joe mentioned, it's basically, it floats, so it's very buoyant like a topwater lure, but it has this skinny lip on the front, kind of like a crankbait, but a really small one. And so when you twitch it, it dives just under the surface, and it basically looks kind of like like a walk the dog motion, which is normally all on the surface with topwaters. This one does it just under the surface. And even with a straight reel in, it'll dive down a little bit deeper. It'll get down to about maybe 12 inches or so. So it's one of the, really there's hardly any, if not no, lipped crankbaits that can go that shallow, that can be used on grass flats without just getting snagged. But as far as where I've had the most success are situations where topwater plugs, the fish aren't quite as aggressive enough to hit a topwater plug, right? We have the moonwalker, which is awesome. But fish really need to be pretty aggressive to go up there and smash a bait at the surface. This one it's very similar look and action, but it gets down a little bit closer to the fish so that they don't have to go quite as far to go strike it. So in the wintertime, this is when I started using it. When topwater wasn't working, they were actually just still smacking this thing. And so it can be retrieved very slow, where you just twitch it. It sinks down about 3 to 4 inches and then floats back up. And on that float back is when they just hammer it. To them, it looks like an injured bait fish. And it's really cool just to see it work, where it can now have topwater fun on days that topwater plugs really don't work quite so well.
Yeah, wait till you see it. Essentially, Luke said, walk the dog underwater. It's really, really cool. And we just sent some to our coaches, not that long ago. And I saw Tony just posted some pics his first time using it. Crushed a big old trout, and I think a red, and used these down in the Keys when we were testing it, all over Tampa, St. Pete. It keeps working. And so we finally said, all right, we're going to go all in on this sucker, and got the name. We got them all getting packaged right now. Describe for those listening the size, how many inches it is, the single inline hooks, kind of what it looks like, because it is very unique.
Yeah, so it's a little bit over 4 inches, and it's basically shaped like a traditional, like slash bait. Like slash bait, I think is probably the term that's close to it, where it's a hard plug that's shaped like a bait fish. Slash baits will usually have a lip that goes out maybe a half inch plus or minus. And so this lip is just very thin and small, so that the lip is maybe, in this case, a 1/4 inch. So it's a small lip, but it's just enough to get that lure under the surface while having a nice darting motion as well. And then again, the fact that it's buoyant, you just twitch it, it'll do a little shimmy, and then it'll float back up. That's usually when the strike happens. Twitch it again, float back up. You can do double twitches where it'll start darting around. And again, I've even caught some really nice trout where I was doing the slow topwater type retrieve, and then saw a splash over this way, and it's like reeling it in for the next cast. And in that case, it does a nice little swim, like a side to side swim. And a big trout, I've caught some really nice fish doing that too. So yes, it certainly works with doing a straight retrieve or maybe even trolling. But the most effective point that I've seen so far has been, when you have those days where the fish are a little bit more lethargic, but having just an injured bait fish just slowly dancing at the surface, it just, it's just instinct, predator instinct to go strike something like that. So again, multiple times where the bite's been slow, had other people on the boat, and this is the one thing that's getting strikes. So definitely a cool lure to have on those days where just nothing else is really working, or you just want to flat out want to have some topwater action and topwater's not working.
Yep. And it's got the little slashes of the little red kind of bite marks, if you will, like an injured bait fish. And it's got some really beefy single inline hooks. I mean, you could catch a tarpon on this thing. This thing is a beast.
Yep.
And we've already had some really big fish caught off of it as well.
Yeah. So again, the hooks are beefed up. The split rings are beefed up as well, so that they can hold up to 40+ inch snook, no problem. And again, well, this is the first color we're going to have with it. It's the slam shady base with the 2 slash marks. It looks like a trout, slash the back of it, which is why it's injured. And those are red slash marks over a white body for those who are listening. And that white isn't just white; it's white with gold and silver flash. So it's not like a boring white or just a straight bone color. This is a white base with some extra flash on it, just like our slam shady lures. That color pattern, like here's the mulligan, same color. Just that color pattern where it's the white base with the flash, that just seems to outperform just the random bases. So yeah, first color will be this one, and then later on this year we'll have some additional colors as well.
And for those of you who love soft plastics as much as we do, because it's still my go-to, this thing is awesome when you get into the puffer fish and the ladyfish and things that are just destroying your soft plastics. You put this out there and it's going to focus in on the bigger fish. It is a slightly bigger profile. And I love that, because normally I would like, I guess I got to go to a spoon or something, assuming I'm not using Topwater. But with this Topwater Diver or Topdiver, the skinny lipper, man, it opens up a whole new opportunity for you on the flats, and with no stupid treble hooks. No offense if you love treble hooks, but it also, man, it gives you the opportunity to actually take it around some grass and to do some really, really cool fishing around structure.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the only hard lure that I've seen so far that I can actually fish a really shallow grass flat without just running into issues snagging the grass. So yeah, so far this thing has been awesome. Still haven't even used it a full season, but so far, winter it worked, spring currently it's working, and we're actually getting into some pretty warm stuff, and it feels
like summer today. I was sweating. I just left the new tackle store is almost ready to be open.
Yep.
Couple days, and it was hot. It was pretty hot in that warehouse. So fortunately, if you come visit us in Winter Haven, the actual tackle store has AC, but the warehouse is just all fans. Man, it was hot today.
It's getting there. But again, really, as it gets warmer, I mean, this should be more and more effective. Obviously, it'll be for the early hours when that sun's shining bright and the fish usually go down deeper. That wouldn't be a shallow running lure in deep water. Generally won't perform as good as a jig that can get down there deep. But in the early morning or late evening hours, when those fish are up in the shallows, stuff like this is really hard to beat. And so I'm really excited about summertime fishing, throwing this. I like normal topwaters when it's dark, like when the sun's down, or like right in that transition where the sun's just starting to crest up, where you can start, you don't need lights anymore. But once that sun's up and I start seeing my shadow, right, where it's bright enough to cause shadows, that's where this can help that topwater bite last probably another hour or two, if not longer. But I just love topwater. Topwater is just hard to beat. Just the excitement on a topwater strike is like the gentleman that when we doubled up on reds, I guess that was last fall when we were back in Little Cockroach Bay.
Yeah.
And the reds were there, and just having a redfish strike topwater, and there's just nothing beats that, especially when you get into a school of them. So
it does beat it is getting more strikes and with the Topwater Diver.
True. But yeah, again, this will just help elongate the topwater strike period.
Yep. Cool. So what other colors? You said it's coming out in the Slam Shady. It's similar to the Moonwalker, color that's our topwater. You can get all this at fishstrong.com. So we're coming out with Slam Shady. We got a bunch of these on the way. They're already made. The hooks are being, put in there, and then they put on the packaging and send them to us. And then we'll get it on fishstrong.com. Insider members save 20% off. And then we'll have some other colors. What other colors you thinking, dude?
Yeah, we're going to do crowdsourcing for a lot of them, but the ones that we're definitely going to do is just a natural pattern, like a natural greenback or a natural mullet, where it's light on the bottom, green top, just standard. We'll do gold digger as well. That's been requested for topwater, so we're going to do that on the topwater plug. And we'll also do it for the skinny lipper. A lot of times, topwater lures having a dark color just helps provide a better silhouette for the fish to hone in on. And then again, we'll just have member suggestions come through and launch new colors and just test out, see what's working, and just hone in on making sure that we're all using the right color at the right time to maximize our results.
Cool, love it. One other thing I want to add in, just hit me because I was meeting with a member who didn't know this. I'm talking about an insider member who didn't know that we were doing giveaways every month. And we do some awesome giveaways. I mean, it's usually well over $1,000 a month that we're giving away really cool tackle just to our members. And you're automatically entered if you just get in the community and engage in any way, shape, or form. And we made it even easier to get you one more entry. If you go to saltshore.com and you got to be logged in. And if you're not a member, what the heck you waiting on? This is just one more cool perk. So we have 3 winners every month. And this month, as we're recording this, we're giving away a $1,800 kayak along with some other cool gifts. And we gave away a Daiwa Exist and a couple of reels. We gave away some pin reels. We're giving a bunch of different reels, thousands of dollars worth of them. So if you're a member, please go to community or go to saltshore.com first and get your free entry, and then go to community.saltshore.com and just engage in the community. That's and this is not just for us, for our purposes. This is for you. Like, this is where Luke and I go. This is where our coaches go to learn and to share. There is so much intel in there. I met with another member yesterday, and I was showing him my phone, and I paused it for a minute. And we were just talking. Let's just say it was like 8 minutes. And I ended up refreshing the community, and there's already 3 posts in that 8-minute period of us just talking about it. It's like, holy smokes, this thing is so active. And there was some really cool intel being shared in there. So I would urge you, if you're a member, to me, it's one of the cooler perks of being a member. Besides, the tackle discounts are pretty awesome, and so is smart fishing spots and smart fishing tides and the smart fishing game plans. But the community, man, that's really, really cool. And it's a good place to meet people. Now we got chapter meetings going on. So if you're not a member, go join us at saltshore.com. If you are a member, go to saltshore.com, logged in, and you can click one button and you're automatically entered at least one entry up to 5 into this month's giveaway.
Yeah, and if you're not a member too, I mean, I'll zoom in. This is our spots map.
Holy smokes.
Where if you're wondering if this club applies to you, the answer is absolutely yes, as long as you fish the coastline from Texas to Florida on the Gulf side, or Florida up to really New England on the Atlantic. If there's redfish in the area, we certainly have members there. But this is just Tampa. I'll zoom in. That's just a crazy. And those are all pins. These are all individual reports that have been submitted either by our members, or like our staff, or members. And again, I could zoom out to go to just the whole Southeast. Right? It's all just pins. So if your wonders for you, the answer is yes. If you're targeting redfish, sea trout, snook, flounder, there's really nothing else like it. We have software that just help make sure that you get at the right spot at the right time, where it has tides plus the map reading, and it just helps make sure you can put the pieces of the puzzle together. I struggled many years. Joe and I both did, going from freshwater to salt. You have to worry about the tides and the pressure and the wind, and the actual software puts all those factors together. Applies the right mix and the right priorities based on the season, just to make sure that you're not wasting your time, which we all wasted a ton of time over the years.
I want every shortcut I can get.
Yep.
My time is valuable, and if yours is, and you want to catch more fish per trip, join us. And you can justify it really easy just on the tackle savings. I mean, the slot machine rod, that's that custom rod that we built. It's a $350 rod. It's $100 off from members. And just like when we introduced the slot machine, it's going to be members only. So like when we come out with this lure, if you're still listening and you're not a member, this lure, you won't even be able to buy it. And this is one of a kind. Like I said, we helped design this thing. You're not going to see anyone else selling this specific lure. and it'll be members only, and they'll get 20% off. And free shipping, $50 or more on everything. We're spooling reels for all our members. They get free line, and we do the spooling there in house. It's really the same day. It's pretty awesome. So come join us and stay tuned. Do we have a approximate date for this? It's not at fishtron.com yet. So if you're listening to this the day this goes live on iTunes, the skinny lipper will not be in the store yet, but it'll be close. Do we have an estimated date?
So estimated date as of now is at least before the end of May. So that's all I can say. Hopefully with some cushion. But again, worst case, it might be a little bit into June, but keep an eye out. We'll obviously do an announcement. Make sure you're on the email list. We're obviously going to, as always, we let our members know first. So another reason to become a member. So members, you'll know as soon as we get them in, and then non-members we'll mention that a little bit later once members have had time to claim. And in many cases with new lures, especially something unique like this, members will probably claim all of them.
Yeah.
And then non-members will have to wait until the next batch comes in. But yeah, so far the testing's been awesome. Feedback has been great. And so I personally love it. It's something I'm now throwing all the time. So
yeah. And you
really
guys
excited about this one.
Who use lures in general, this is a game changer. And even if you don't, even if you're a live bait person, I would try this out. Heck, you mentioned trolling. I mean, kind of a perfect little trolling. If you're trolling in a shallow area or going slow in idle zone, man, throw that thing, let it just zigzag behind you. You'd be shocked at what hits it.
Yep, so far so good. And obviously, like always, we'll do lure tests as well. So you'll be able to see, how this compares to other lures we offer, and then other lures that cover a similar depth range as well. So we'll put it in a test just like always. But yeah, so far this thing has been just exceeding expectations, and so definitely one to add to the arsenal.
The Topwater Diver, called the Skinny Lipper. All right, guys, get yours when it comes out. Stay tuned. And for you Insider members, thank you so much. You're the foundation of this company. Come to one of the chapter meetings if we have one in your area. We post all that in the community as well. And I know there's one starting in Savannah, Georgia, one in New Jersey. I think there's a Texas one coming up soon. So they're starting to expand. It's really, really cool to see this happening. That's where members are meeting up, got speakers, and a great place to meet some new friends and have some fun. Luke and I went to the first 5 chapter meetings that we had in different areas, and man, they were an absolute blast.
Yep, meet a bunch of great people and learn some nice localized tips from local speakers.
That's right. Cool. Hi, guys. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Peace. We out. Whoop, whoop.
See ya.
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul. It was pain.